Good evening. In federal court this afternoon, former Deputy State Budget Director Kosta Diamantis took the stand in his own defense. Diamantis faces 21 federal criminal charges, including bribery and extortion.
He's accused of using his position as a high-ranking state official to shake down construction companies for bribes and then steer government contracts their way. News 8 political reporter Mike Cerulli has more on this. Mike.
Good evening to you, Dennison. And from the witness stand today, Kosta Diamantis flatly denying that he took bribes. He did, however, say he took payments, he called them fees, from those two masonry company executives who have already pleaded guilty to conspiring to bribe him. So what's the difference here? Well, Diamantis said those payments were not made in exchange for influence over state contracts, but rather for an introduction between the masonry company and another construction firm. 14 ordinary citizens seated on the jury have now met two different versions of Kosta Diamantis. The one presented to them by the government and their witnesses is an aggressive, domineering man who used his power as a state official to demand bribes and steer contracts. The Kosta Diamantis they met on the witness stand Thursday afternoon was calm, collected, a lawyer and former state legislator who was hired and then promoted by two successive governors, Dan Malloy and Ned Lamont. That version of Diamantis was put in charge of the state school construction funding office to rein in costs and establish a measure of discipline over the spending of billions of taxpayer dollars. Diamantis testified he did take thousands of dollars on multiple occasions from Sal Monarca and John Duffy, the masonry company executives who have pleaded guilty to conspiring to bribe Diamantis, but the former school construction chief said those payments were in exchange for an introduction to another construction company, D'Amato Construction in Bristol. D'Amato was a general contractor, and Monarca's firm was a subcontractor.
Do you feel like there was no quid pro quo here?
Mr. Diamantis' testimony stands on its own. I'm going to unfortunately have to save that for argument. I'm sorry.
The description of those payments appears to be at the very core of the defense strategy, as Connecticut Mirror investigative reporter Andrew Brown explains.
To summarize the argument, it was that Mr. Diamantis may have been paid, his daughter may have been hired, but it wasn't illegal. Essentially, there wasn't any type of influence in return given on school construction projects. Now, I think the prosecution has laid out a lot of direct evidence that could give the jury reason to doubt that.
And the prosecution is going to have their chance to cross-examine Kosta tomorrow. Norm Pattis, the defense attorney, still has some more direct examination questions to wrap up in the morning, and then it's in the hands of the federal government who are going to try to prove that this defendant took bribes and extorted people. We'll bring that to you when it happens tomorrow. For now, live from Bridgeport, Mike Cerulli, News 8.